Hi, Internet viewers. This is Frank Rauscher again. When I last left you on the last video, we had worked the one side and then I did the other. I burned them all in so that it looks like that. Okay, we got the primaries, the secondaries, and now what we're going to do is go to the tail. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to put the center line in. But let me reverse the camera down and we'll let you see everything that's happening right from the get-go here, okay? So bear with me. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll here. Here we go. Now, what I was saying to you before is to get the center line back in there. And then, I've already marked this lightly with a pencil, but I'm going to go through this with you. I want you to come in from the end of the tail on the first feather, about 1/8 of an inch. And then I want you to come out a little bit more than 1/8 and 1/8. Well, wait a minute, I'm lying. I probably have it as, yeah, it's a little bit more than 1/8 on each side. So you can see the distance between here and here. I want to come out a little more than 1/8. Just get it a little bigger than 1/8 right about here and here. And then back here, it's a little smaller than 1/8, but not 1/16. And I'm going to ask you to come out. Let me bring this up and spin this around to that 1/8 inch in and bring it around. Then do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So we're coming out here, maybe an 1/8 of an inch more on this side. This is the left-hand side. And I'm coming. And then I spin this one in. Whoop, I'm sorry. Grabbed the wrong feather. All right, there you go. So it's a little wider on this back end here, and it's a little less on this side. Okay. Now for each feather, like this one I drew in accidentally, it's about 1/16 down at the end here. Hope you can see that. And I'm not drifting out of the picture again. So it's 1/16 down here off of this feather, and it's not quite 1/8 of an inch, but it's a little less. And what you're doing is you're spiraling around, you're piggybacking off of this one, and then you're coming around, you're mimicking this, and you're sliding that back to almost 1/16. Then you're coming, you're doing the next one, you're going out about 1/8 up here, and then you're sliding down to 1/16 back here. So you could start the 1/16 off of this line and slide that right up. And notice this one a little longer than that one. This is the shortest one. This was a little bit higher on the end than this. This one here is a little higher than that one. Then on the next feather, I go a little higher, but I'm coming out about 1/8 of an inch here, and then I'm sliding back to 1/16 down here. So, and the other thing I maybe forgot was I want you to really smooth this out and sand it so you have a nice curvature going across here. This is before you do everything here, before you start the drawing. So I really back fitting here a little bit. You want to get this nice and smooth, because when you draw on here, it makes it easier and for burning as well too. So, okay, we got this one. Now I'm going to come out again a little higher and about 1/8 of an inch out, maybe a little less on these outside ones, and 1/16 down here. And then the last one is the highest one. And then it comes around to about a 16th down here. And that's your setup there. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And you have a center feather, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to have 5 on the other. There's actually 12, but one feather is under the other one, and it's just hidden. So we do actually like 11 feathers here, but there is actually 12. So I'm going to start with the 16th down here, come up. I'm coming over off of this one. I'm trying to mimic this basically. Coming up, going out about 1/8 of an inch, and then joining up with that one. It's very similar to the first feather. Then I do the same thing again, come out about 1/8 of an inch, swing around, do a 16th down here, and come up and join up with that one. Then I do the same thing again, come out about 1/8 of an inch, do a 16th down here, and then aim up towards that one. And if you notice, increasing it ever so slightly so they look like they're coming off of each other and they're not the same length. So here's the 16th, coming up, coming out about 1/8 of an inch up top here. And then I'm sliding it in, okay? And then the last one just about gets on there. And it's a little bit longer. And they should look like a mirror image from the center line one way or the other. I do a 16th down here. Spin that out. Come up. And there you go. So that is the tail feathers. So what I'm going to ask you to do now, and I'm going to switch over to my optivisors, which is my magnifiers, and it helps me stay on target here. I'm going to do another thing too that is very helpful when you do the tail for some people. You want to steady yourself, so you can get a block of wood. This happens to be a cradle to hold my ram grinder. So I'm going to come in here. I'm not doing the center line, but I'm doing the outside right on the first feather. I'm coming up and I'm burning right along that pencil line. And when I get to here, I find that coming this way and not trying to do the whole feather in one shot. If you can, great. Then I go and I'll do the next one down. I'll burn that in. And come in here. I don't know if I was shifting again. Sorry about that. I'll try to stay on point here. I'm coming out, following my pencil line. And then I find that just curling the pen around makes it easier. And then I join up to the straight. And then I'll do it again. Okay. And then I hook it up. We got that one. Then I'm going to do one more. Coming down. And spiral around here. And I do this one. Jumped a little bit, but we're okay. My control isn't that great today, but we're okay. coming up. I don't know how straight I got that, but I'm going to try to straighten that out a little bit and burn to the outside of that line, like so. And then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. Now, what I'm going to do is let you finish that on the other side, but I want to also show you how to, once you burned all these in, I want you to see how I reduce this down. I'm going to get a bullet-shaped diamond. I like these. And like I showed you before, there's several bits you can use. You can use a flame tip ruby like this one, or the bullet-shaped diamond like this one, or you can also use the safe end. But the safe end sometimes can't get you into the tight spots, so I like a bullet for that. So, and I stick it out a little bit further so I have the room to get in under here. So I'm going to start back here. I'm going to also try to show you something else that's happening under here. I did it before with the flame, but I'll show you again. I'm going to start undercutting right along the line, and I'm coming around. Now, I would do the whole feather, but just to expedite things, I'm laying this so it's the roll, as you can see that curvature in there. You want to not come straight in on this, but have your bit on an angle so that you are taking material away as you go, like a shingling effect you want to create. And some of you are afraid to lose the burn. Don't be afraid to go back in. See, I just lost the back end of here. So what you may want to do, and I'll cut a couple of these in, just running the bit along there. But then what I'll do is I'll shut down. And of course, you want to get your pencil marks back in there so you can duplicate what you had. I'll put that one in, and I'll put that one in. And you can see as soon as I do the top feather or the next one down, we lost some of it. So that's not a problem. We just go back in and we follow our burn again. And this acts as a stop so that we have an area that's already like cut in. If you were doing it with a knife, you would run your knife in there. This is acting like a knife. So what I'm doing is I'm going over a few of these. And in some cases, when you're doing this, you may want to push the temperature of your handpiece up just a little bit more, and you get a deeper burn, and that would be helpful. Trying to get this. Okay, now I'm going to come out here where we started losing some of this. Hope I'm still in your view. I'm coming back and reinforcing that burn. So go back. I'll clean that up, the second feather. Now I'm going to cut in. I want to also get back in here under the wing feathers. And then come along here. You notice I'm sloping downward whenever I do these. I'm not coming straight in like this to preserve the burn line. I'm really not. I need to I need to get that stepping down and not going straight out. It's rolling downward. So my angle is just that. I'm trying to go this way with the bit. So I know when I taught, a lot of students don't want to lose the detail that they have, or the burn, I should say, and they get a little hung up. So I have it lifted here somewhat, and what I'm going to do is just show you, we have a situation with this, all this away from the feathers have to be taken out. And then the last feather, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything outside here is too much too. I'm going to put a pencil on in there so you can see that feather. Okay. Now, all this has to be taken away. So to expedite things, I'm going to do everything across here and take it out. And what I usually do is I go with a tungsten carbide bit. Looks like this. This happens to be a barrel shape, which works out very nicely. And what I do is I come in here, that whole little V shape in there, I'm going to try to get in there, and this will take a lot of wood out real fast. I don't want to get right up to the burn. I'm going to get close, but see how fast I took that down? It takes it down very fast. If you get really proficient with this bit, you can do a lot of shaping real fast if you play with it enough. Now, everything from this last line out has to go. So what I do is I just walk it down. You don't want to undercut. You want to go straight through and take that down. Now, when you get down to the wing, you want to be careful. You want to stay below the wing so you don't bang into what you already created above that. So you have a situation like this where that's there. And you can see how close I can get. As long as you're straight up and down too. You want to be able to look straight down and not cut it on an angle or have it wide that way. And it takes a lot of wood out real fast. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is to burn the other side and then step it down with the bits I showed you. You could either use the flame or the bullet or the safe end. The only trouble with the safe end is when you get up here, you need to get under, okay? And the last thing I wanted to show you that we didn't do before, when I used a flame, this is a ruby flame, this one here, I had you go around on the underneath side here. This was the wing, and bring that up. And when you come up into here, you may have to do some more work on the burn again with the last feathers here. And I came around, and you see there's some air back in here. If I put the pencil mark in there, you have a lift in there, but you don't have a total lift. So I want you to do that on both sides. Lay this in here so it's cupping, and the wing looks like it's going down under, and you're running this up without really reshaping the tail. What you end up with is another edge out here, and I need you to roll that away too. And then do the same thing on this side, just clean that up. Now, the thing is, this in here needs to be cleaned out. So how we do that is we do this. I get a diamond It's a pointed diamond like this. And any type you have that looks like a needle type one. I get this. I come into this area right in here to get some lift. So that this wing looks like it's just sitting on the tail, but it has some lift in there. So you see what happens here? It's like open. I hope you can see it. It's open in there just a little bit. It sort of lifts that wing up off the tail, and it's ever so slight, but you want to do that. And then because we messed up or something like that, and we took some of it out, you may have to go back. And this is where you want to put the pencil line all the way back, reburn it, and then lift it a little bit. And you're going to need like a bullet to get under there or a flame tip. And then do the same thing on the other side, okay? So, hope you got something out of this video. And what we're going to do after this, and we get this all staged down, we'll have a nice staging going this way and a nice staging going that way. Then I'm going to show you how to develop the bottom, because right now, look how much thickness we have. And in reality, when we get to do it, it gets this thin. This is one that's done already. And you could see it's even less than half of what we have there. So I will show you how to do that on the next video. Hope you got something out of this one as well. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you can subscribe to my channel, that'd be great. And if there's any products you see that you may need or you need some advice on, definitely contact me. My email address is in the front end with comments or descriptions in there, and you can always get a hold of me. But like I said, you're doing this side and then you're doing this side, exactly the same, okay? So see you on the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this.